Hey guys, Tanks here, and this time we're going to talk about what I believe is the hands down best build for breezing through pretty much all forms of New World content, but especially solo and group PvE. I'm talking about a build I like to call the Watcher Tank? Warhammer and Hatchet Tank. I guess I'm still working on the name. Both Warhammer and Hatchet are powerful in offensive and defensive capabilities and provide tons of incredibly useful perks for staying alive while allowing you to constantly remain on the offensive. They're also both fairly straightforward to use and great for solo and group play, enabling you to tank while outputting solid damage and self-sustain. Both the Warhammer and the Hatchet are a natural choice for melee users looking to be able to do it all with one setup. So let's get into the details. And let's start off with the weapon pretty much everyone uses, the Hatchet. Let's be honest, the Hatchet is just kind of OP. And it's all mainly due to this one ability called Berserk. This ability is so freaking good, it's almost certainly going to get nerfed. But as of now, it just kind of does everything. What does it do? Let's see. It makes you immune to most CC and all staggers, increases your damage output, heals you, and it even makes you run faster. I mean, even just saying all those things out loud sounds ridiculous, but that's what this one button does. So take it and put every point into it immediately, because they're all great, and every other ability in this game looks like complete shit compared to this one button. Afterwards, there are some great passives, and the chop 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 ability is pretty good because it's got decent grit. But you're really just filling out points to get to that juicy 11th keystone node that gives you a cheat death on an easy breezy 75-second cooldown. Once you've grabbed your 3-second immortality passive, grab up these points in the secondary tree for more damage and survivability, piled on top of all the damage and survivability you already have. Speaking of damage and survivability, let's switch over to the Warhammer now. While the Hatchet is obviously OP, which is why you see it in so many builds, the Warhammer is actually the shining star of this playstyle and really carries its enormous heft well. One of the big reasons I think the Warhammer is incredibly strong is all the grit built into the weapon's attacks. It allows you to swing your hammer around without constantly getting interrupted, and this lets you stay on the offensive and kill things while also healing off of them. You combine grit with great passive damage reduction, abilities that all provide the healing and CC, and the ability to quickly refresh your CDs to smash and heal all day long, and you've got a powerful hunk of metal in your hands. The Warhammer has a ton of great traits, but its keystones at the bottom of the trees are pretty underwhelming. But in a way, it's kind of a good thing, because that way you can focus on grabbing up the points that are most impactful for you now, instead of putting them all into one tree first to get to the bottom keystone like with the Hatchet. As for gearing and level up stat point allocations, your main concern for this build is stacking up a bunch of armor so you can pull large groups at once and sustain through their damage while you pound them into dust. Strength is a hugely impactful stat that would ideally be pumped all the way up to 300 for in-game with a build like this, but you shouldn't neglect Constitution either, as will help you pull larger groups while staying alive. And the more people you have, the more damage you do, the more healing you do, and the more cooldown reduction you get. Also, I personally think getting 50 points in dexterity is more than worth the slight loss in strength and con, as the 5% crit chance you get from it is worth the few points that you invest in it, and the little extra skinning bonus is a cherry on top. But starting off, I'd focus on hitting 50 in all three con, dex, and strength, and then from there I'd go with a 2-to-1 strength to con stat priority as you level to maintain damage and survivability. But yeah, that's the gist of this excellent melee tanking build that excels at all types of group and solo PvE content. Let me know if you have any questions or build ideas of your own in the comments. That's pretty much all I have for now, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.